and references being shared across the community, organized for quick browsing. Use it to spot patterns, pull links, and build your own research list. Qnotables.com. Browse the notables, verify the facts, stay informed. All reports can be found on Q Research or Qnotables.com. Notables do not equal endorsements. We are researchers who deal in open source information, reasoned argument, and dank memes. We do battle in the sphere of ideas and ideas only. We neither need nor condone the use of force in our work here. From the Q Research Board's election night developments out of Texas, State Representative James Tallarico has secured the Democratic nomination for the United States Senate after defeating Representative Jasmine Crockett in the Texas Democratic primary. Election analysts called the race as returns showed Tallarico with a decisive lead statewide. Political observers say the result sets up the general election contest for the Senate seat later this year. The outcome marks a significant shift inside Texas Democratic politics, with Tallarico emerging from a competitive primary field and quickly consolidating support following the call. Police in Dallas say a masked man carrying firearms and ammunition was arrested outside Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's election watch party. Authorities say the incident began with a traffic stop related to a license plate issue, and officers later conducted an inventory search of the vehicle where ammunition was discovered. Police say the suspect was taken into custody and transported to the Dallas County Jail as the investigation continues. The arrest took place while supporters and campaign staff gathered nearby for the primary election event. Social media platform X is moving to limit the spread of artificial intelligence-generated war footage circulating online. Company policy updates state that creators posting AI-generated conflict videos must clearly disclose the synthetic nature of the content. The platform says failure to label the material could lead to penalties, including demonetization or removal from revenue programs. The change follows a surge in highly realistic AI-generated battlefield clips that have spread widely across social platforms during the current Middle East conflict. The Pentagon has identified 4 of the 6 U.S. Army service members killed during recent strikes connected to the war with Iran. War Department officials say the soldiers were assigned to the Army Reserve's 103rd Sustainment Command and were killed when a drone attack struck a U.S. military facility in Kuwait. Military officials say the names were released after notification of families. The Department of War says 2 additional service members killed in the same attack will be identified once next of kin notifications are completed. White House briefings and war reporting indicate Iran's naval presence near the Gulf of Oman has been sharply reduced following recent U.S. operations. Officials say Iranian ships previously operating in the area are no longer present after a series of strikes targeting Iranian military assets. The developments come as the United States continues broader operations in the region amid escalating conflict between Iran and U.S. allied forces. Military officials say the situation in the Gulf remains under active monitoring. Qatar says its air defenses shot down 2 Iranian warplanes during an attack targeting its territory as the regional conflict expanded. Government officials say the aircraft were intercepted during the attempted strike and were destroyed by defensive systems. The incident marks one of the most direct aerial confrontations between Iran and a Gulf state during the current escalation. Defense analysts say Gulf nations have heightened air defense readiness as Iranian missiles and aircraft activity increase across the region. Reporting from regional and U.S. outlets indicates Saudi Arabia is moving closer to possible direct military strikes inside Iran. Coverage says Saudi leadership has been weighing options as the conflict expands and Iranian attacks spread across multiple countries in the Middle East. Officials across the region are increasing military readiness while coordinating with allied forces. Analysts say any direct Saudi strike inside Iranian territory would represent a major escalation in the broader regional conflict. U.S. military operations targeting Iranian naval assets continue to expand as the conflict intensifies. War reporting says an Iranian submarine was destroyed during recent operations, while other naval assets have been struck across the region. Separate reports indicate drone attacks have also hit facilities associated with U.S. intelligence operations in the Gulf. Military officials say the situation remains fluid as both sides continue to exchange strikes across land, sea, and air domains. U.S. Central Command has released new details about the scale of the regional military campaign known as Operation Epic Fury. War information released by CENTCOM outlines a large force presence that includes tens of thousands of U.S. troops, hundreds of aircraft, and multiple aircraft carriers operating in the region. Strategic bombers, including B-2 and B-1 aircraft, are also deployed. Military officials say the operation involves coordinated air, naval, and ground actions against Iranian military targets across multiple areas of operation.
At shop.isawaya.com, everything you buy supports Qnotables, the place where people talk freely no matter what. Check out our Qn honey pot, a jar of yummy honey that's as strong as your voice. Put it on toast or in tea. It's not just honey, it's freedom in every bite. Then there's Qn butter, a smooth handmade skin cream that makes you feel good while you fight for what's right. Awesome wooden pieces for display only. Hang them up or set them out. They're for showing off Qn's tough spirit. Want to help even more? Get a proto membership. So go to shop.isawaya.com now and grab some goodies. Help Qnotables keep free speech alive, and let's keep the ideas flowing loud and free.
All reports can be found on Q Research or Qnotables.com. Notables do not equal endorsements. We are researchers who deal in open source information, reasoned argument, and dank memes. We do battle in the sphere of ideas and ideas only. We neither need nor condone the use of force in our work here.
From the Research Board's March 4, 2026, in Indiana, a school district has agreed to pay $650,000 to settle claims brought by a teacher who said he was terminated after refusing to use transgender names and pronouns for students. Court filings indicate the case centered on a religious accommodation dispute between the teacher and the district. The settlement resolves the litigation without a trial. The case drew national attention as schools and courts continue to navigate legal questions surrounding speech, employment policy, and religious rights. Federal prosecutors say 3 sales executives have pleaded guilty in connection with a $500 million investment fraud scheme. Justice Department filings state the defendants participated in a conspiracy involving securities fraud and wire fraud tied to the marketing of pre-IPO investments. Court records show the case was prosecuted in federal court in Brooklyn. Authorities say the scheme targeted investors through misrepresentations about high-value private company shares and investment opportunities. The Justice Department says Japanese national Takeshi Ebisawa has been sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for conspiring to traffic nuclear materials, narcotics, and firearms. Prosecutors say Ebisawa attempted to broker deals involving uranium and other materials while also participating in international drug trafficking and weapons activity. Court records indicate the investigation involved undercover operations and cooperation between U.S. and international law enforcement agencies. Officials say the case highlights the risks tied to global trafficking networks. A federal judge has blocked enforcement of a Virginia law requiring age verification for social media users and imposing restrictions aimed at minors. Court filings indicate the ruling found the law likely conflicts with First Amendment protections. The state has moved to challenge the decision at the appellate level as the legal fight continues. The case is part of a broader national debate over how governments regulate children's access to social media platforms. Financial pressure is pushing some Planned Parenthood affiliates to expand into cosmetic medical services. Reports indicate certain clinics are offering Botox and other aesthetic procedures as cash pay services alongside existing healthcare offerings. Organizational officials say the services are intended to generate additional revenue as clinics face funding challenges and operational changes across multiple states. The expansion reflects broader efforts by healthcare providers to diversify income streams. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says he is calling on 7 individuals to appear for transcribed interviews connected to the committee's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and related matters. Comer posted the request publicly and indicated the interviews are part of the committee's ongoing review of documents, testimony, and records tied to the case. Congressional investigators say the effort aims to gather additional information from witnesses who may have relevant knowledge. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says Europe cannot accept any settlement in the Ukraine conflict that is negotiated without European participation. Merz stated that European nations must be included in any agreement shaping the future security structure of the region. The comments come amid ongoing diplomatic efforts involving the United States, Russia, and Ukraine as leaders discuss potential pathways toward ending the war. European officials continue to push for a role in negotiating continent security. A federal justice system research report published in 2017 examined educator sexual misconduct in American schools and estimated that roughly 10% of K-12 students experience some form of sexual misconduct by school employees. The report states that grooming behaviors often precede abuse and that many incidents go unreported. Researchers called for stronger prevention programs, reporting mechanisms, and institutional oversight to address misconduct inside school systems. Former HUD official Catherine Austin Fitts discussed global financial power structures during a recent interview with Tucker Carlson. In the conversation, Fitts described what she calls a financial control system involving banking networks, government policy, and international institutions. She argued that major financial entities play a significant role in shaping global economic and geopolitical outcomes. Clips from the interview have circulated widely online as the discussion continues across political and financial commentary outlets.
Every voice matters. The power of free speech is more important than ever. Imagine a place where you can share your thoughts freely, explore new ideas, and engage in meaningful conversations anonymously. With online anonymity, you can express yourself without fear of judgment. It's about freedom, creativity, and connection. Join the conversation that matters. Embrace your voice. Celebrate your freedom. Visit 8kun.top today. That's 8kun.top.
That's all for now. Stay alert, stay informed, and never hand your thinking over to anyone on a screen, including me. God bless you, God bless our troops, and God bless the United States of America.